Oh, hello everyone. Thanks for taking time to listen to this about what Hannah Arendt might say about North Korea if she lived today. Okay, let's see. Although Hannah Arendt never commented directly on North Korea, her theories on totalitarianism, the nature of power, propaganda, the banality of evil can be applied to its regime. Scholars, however, debate whether North Korea fully fits her specific definition of a totalitarian state. North Korea's challenge to Arendt's theory of totalitarianism. Arendt based her theory of totalitarianism on Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union, defining it as a regime that creates a mobilized mass out of atomized individuals. The state aims to destroy all pre-existing social structures to achieve total control. Some scholars argue that North Korea's system is different. Explicit social hierarchy, unlike the Nazi and Soviet regimes, which sought to eliminate former social class structures, North Korea's Songbun system made social categories based on class background more explicit. This system categorizes every individual into a hereditary class, such as the core class, the wavering class, or the hostile class. Totalitarianism and size. Some argue North Korea is too small to fit Hannah Arendt's concept, which she likened to the expansionist nature of large populous totalitarian countries. Arendtian themes visible in North Korea, despite the differences, many elements of Arendt's analysis align with the North Korean regime. Ruled by terror and ideology, arbitrary terror, Arendt argued that totalitarian terror, unlike terror in a tyranny, is not a means to an end, but the very essence of a government. It is not to use to punish opponents, but to enforce the ruling ideology and make all citizens superfluous. North Korean prison camps and the use of public execution for seemingly minor offenses reflect this form of total, unpredictable terror. A fictional lawlessness. Totalitarian regimes create an ideological fiction of a higher natural law that it supersedes all other laws. This makes the regime appear very perfectly lawful, even as it constantly shifts and challenges its laws to fit the leader's will. North Korea's Juche ideology, which presents the Kim dynasty as infallible leaders of a chosen people, serves this function: the destruction of truth and reality. Fabrication of a fictional world. Arendt noted that totalitarian propaganda relies on a contempt for facts. It builds a fictional, consistent reality to insulate its subjects from the outside world and make them believe everything and nothing at the same time. North Korea achieves this through extreme information control, which cultivates a collective cynicism and a stress of all information, including verifiable facts. Erosion of the capacity to think. Pervasive lying destroys the population's ability to distinguish fact from fiction and truth from false. The ideal subject of totalitarian rule is a person who has lost the capacity to form independent convictions. In North Korea, this is enforced through constant indoctrination and the total control of information. The leader and the party. The leader as the focus of power. Arendt viewed totalitarian states as lacking a genuine, legally bounded state apparatus, with the leader acting as the sole source of power, unconstrained by his own laws. The Kim dynasty in North Korea embodies this concept, with Kim Jong-un absolute authority collapsing any distinction between the government and the leader's personal will. The power of propaganda. Arendt argued that totalitarianism releases talented individuals with crackpots and fools whose incompetencies serve as the best guarantee of their loyalty to the leader. North Korea's state media constantly glorifies its leader and promotes a national myth with propaganda focused on loyalty rather than genuine competence or achievement. The banality of evil. Thoughtlessness in the face of atrocity. Arendt's concept of the banality of evil came from her observation of Adolf Eichmann, a Nazi official who appeared ordinary but demonstrated a total lack of empathy and independent thought. The brutality of North Korea's regime, from prison camps to public execution, is carried out by ordinary people operating within a system where moral judgment has collapsed. Arendt might argue that this cruelty is enabled by the thoughtlessness of those who merely follow orders in a world where right and wrong has been inverted. Evil's lack of death. Arendt believed that evil is not radical or profound, but can spread like a fungus over the surface of the earth through a lack of critical thought and complicity. In North Korea, this might manifest in the system's normalization of oppression, where individual actions contribute to immense suffering without many people having to control the full scope of their participation. Well, this is what Hannah Arendt might say about Kim Jong-un if she were alive today. Thanks for listening, everyone. Take care.